have inflicted on the people of Nigeria. Look at the country. There is massive bloodshed around the country. No electricity, no food. The judiciary was shut down for 2 months. No good education, no job. Herdsmen and bandits are destroying agriculture. These ills can only describe the character of Buhari and his co-travelers in the APC and the PDP. I hear you talk about Amaechi's rail lines. Yes, it's standard gauge. I know. The processes and deals behind the construction shows the weakness of Nigeria. It shows how big powers like China demobilize uninspiring leaderships through loans. Let's go to the National Assembly. Chibiko Amaechi is the Minister of Transport. He faces a committee of the National Assembly. I'll be back.
Of reps. I told them 2 things. First is I just got to know that there's a clause in the agreement. It's simple. China will give you like the loan to construct the rail from Ibadan to Kano is $5.3 billion. The reason why you're ceding your sovereignty, not that you're ceding your sovereignty, you can't take away the sovereignty of Nigeria. The implication is that if at the end of the day you don't pay us back our money, whatever we need to take from you, we will take without you telling me about sovereignty. But most times what the Chinese do is that they go after the same asset that they have constructed to be able to recover their money. So what's wrong with that? You're asking for $5.3 billion. That's how many trillions? Nearly 8 trillion naira. And they say, just waive that sovereignty. Don't tell me if I want to get back this asset. You say, no, I'm a government in Nigeria. You can't take it. So how do I recover my money? Now, for me, the National Assembly, in their wisdom, don't forget they're wise men, going by the Constitution. In their wisdom, if they think that is wrong, then they should tell us how to get the money to be able to build this infrastructure. But if this infrastructure had been built before we came, we're not madmen, we won't build them again, we'll go to something else. If you ask me what infrastructure you want to build, schools, because I want to have an educated class. But unfortunately, you can't also do that without growing the economy. And one of the infrastructure that grew and propel an economy in a country is transportation. That's one. 2, I have told the National Assembly, nothing wrong with investigation. It's part of their responsibilities. It's an oversight function. But for now, you jeopardize the ability of government to raise money if you continue to ask those questions that we think that will make China say, what's going on here? That's the point I'm making. So you will lose the loan you're asking for Port Harcourt to Maiduguri. So Port Harcourt Maiduguri is Port Harcourt, Aba, Umuahia, Enugu, Makurdi, Lafia, Jos, Bauchi, Gombe, Damaturu, then Maiduguri. You will lose the money you are asking for Ibadan to Kano, which is Ibadan, the Loren, Mina, leave Kaduna, Abuja, that's been done. So you Kano. Right? Now you don't know how the Russians will react, because the Russians were negotiating with Russians on the loan from Lagos to Calabar. So you lose the money for Lagos, all that area of Ore to Benin, Benin to, including Akure, Benin to Asaba, Asaba to Onitsha, then Benin to Warri, passing through all those Ueli, Sapele and other to Inagua, to Port Harcourt, back to Aba, and then to Uyo and to Calabar. So are they saying that we should lose these loans because you're asking for, is it right to cede sovereignty? It is not ceding sovereignty in the technical sense of it. It is ceding sovereignty, giving them the power to recover their assets if they need to recover it to be able to recover their money. So I don't see what's wrong with that.
How does Amechi sound? How? Look at how their money give them sovereignty. If we don't do this, Russia will not give us this. No, China will run away. How does it sound? I hope you are inspired by Amechi. He is Buhari's friend. Yes, I've entered the new train. I enjoyed the ride. It's the first time I was riding in a train in Nigeria from Ibadan to Lagos and Lagos back to Ibadan. I had fun. At least we are moving. We've started, Abi. Fine. I'll take the train again. I will keep improving it. Good. Perhaps Buhari borrows from the advantages that railways offer, like was seen in North America, Europe, and the colonies of the European empires. But the kilometers being constructed in Nigeria, the pace of construction, and the speed of trains only indicate to me that Nigerian leadership is not ambitious enough. What is called infrastructural development here is driven by mostly external factors that dictate the country's development. There are mostly little efforts to show that something is being done. That is why the louder they celebrate little efforts, the poorer the people become, and the more violent the state becomes. I'm saying that China is replicating and exceeding the infrastructure development that took Europe and America decades in the 19th and early 20th centuries to build. It is taking Nigeria a decade to construct the 127 kilometers of express road connecting Lagos to Ibadan. But China within 8 years constructed 37,900 kilometers of high-speed lines. China is also expanding its rail networks into neighboring countries like Laos, Thailand, and Singapore. To improve trade routes for Chinese exports and deliver contracts to Chinese companies, there are proposed new rail lines crossing the Himalayas to India and Pakistan or reaching into Russia and the former Soviet Union Central Asian republics. That is why when people critique that we are building rail lines into Niger or Niger Republic, my opinion is different. And where do I stand? What are the plans? What do we intend to achieve? Most people are looking at it from, oh, Buhari is Fulani, oh, the people in Niger is Fulani. I don't think it doesn't bother me. What gains will it bring to the poverty situation in Nigeria? If we constructed the line, how much are we making? How much goods are we going to move from Aba, Nnewi through that line into Niger and other West African countries? Those are the questions I'm asking. Whether it's going to Fulanis does not bother me. If the Fulanis in Niger will spend billions to buy the products coming from Aba, coming from Nnewi, coming from Lagos, who cares? Let's drive progress into Africa. That is the way I think. If the rail line will lift millions of Nigerians out of poverty and lift millions of Nigerians out of poverty, why not? Nigeria cannot be rich and its neighbors will be poor. There will be conflict. The poor people there will move into Nigeria and begin to fight. That's how it happens. So that is why when you develop, you must ensure that your neighbors are also developing. Like, go and look at the Asian tigers. As Singapore picked up, Taiwan took off, South Korea took off, and they were all engineered by Japan. Now China is flying, India is moving. The standard gauge line will run between Kano, capital of the northern Nigerian state, and Maradi, the second largest city in Niger, and the center of the country's developing oil industry. That's the point. The $5.3 billion Laos-China Railway is due to open by the end of 2021. Although it's not a high-speed railway, yet this sort of expansion by China drives its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative. After this break, we'll talk more. The program is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. I am Edmond Opilo. Don't go away.
State Affairs with Edmond Opilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
When you come into the Glow Cafe, you're in for a world of treats. Not only can you monitor all your voice and data usage with ease, buy, share, borrow, and gift data and airtime in the smoothest ways, pay for any services of your choice using your airtime or your bank card, and manage or change your tariff plan to any plan you prefer seamlessly. You can also add friends, get sweet rewards, and so much more. Oh, and don't forget, if you ever need to recharge outside the Glow Cafe app, just dial star 805 hash to purchase airtime or data through your bank. So, step into your Glow Cafe today.
Or download the Glow Cafe app today. Glow Cafe, where the ball goes down.
All the place and the brighten, make everybody they wonder. Waiting they cause all the shine. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush, yeah. You wonder how I shine like this. I'm on a lush, yeah, be the coco. Say you want to know. And if you wanna be fine like me, I can show you where to go. A lush, yeah, be the coco.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Hey, Oga and Madam, you don't see the room now. Make I show you the toilet where you could share with the other neighbors.
Now the toilet be this.
What's up?
Oga agent, you mean say na general toilets clean, come white like this,
Yes, now. Na hypo toilet cleaner that they use to clean and kill the yama jams come out.
Hypo toilet cleaner? Wow.
Wash your toilet at least once a week with Hypo Toilet Cleaner to keep it sparkling clean and gem-free. Available in sachet for 35 naira only. Madam, now 2 years land on one collect.
We go pay for 6 years,
Breaks here for Bruno Fernandes. Oh, what a strike!
My guy, 100 million naira don land for people wey sabi to come chop and reach up. For where? Na for Mozart Bet o. 100 million naira. Abeg, how fit win? Na to go register for Mozart Bet o. Just go log on to www.mozartbet.ng. I say www.mozzartbet.ng and you go get 100% welcome bonus sharparly for your first deposit. And you too go soon become millionaire be that o. Just continue to charge your winnings with our Mozart Bet 1000% super multi bonus.
Oh boy, no be small thing so. Abeg, I don't join.
Better day for Mozart Bet o. Just go log on to www.mozzartbet.ng. I say www.mozzartbet.ng. Go register o.
Make you hammer.
Mozart Bet. Terms and conditions dey sha o.
fún ìlọsíwájú orílẹ̀-èdè ó pè fún àpérò àtìgbàdégbà láti dábọ̀ ọ̀nà àbáyọ torí bódò bá kọ̀wẹ̀ tẹ́rù kọ òkè ó níbi tá a gbé sí ìdíre o ti alága àtolùdásílẹ̀ West Midlands Communications Limited àgbáoyè Adébáyọ̀ Àkàndé MFR abẹ́sẹ̀ Olúbàdàn lẹ́bàdàn àti gbogbo ògbìmọ̀ adarí fi ń pe gbogbo èèyàn síbi ìkẹrìnlá ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lọ́dọọdún ìkànnì Splash 105.5 FM tó papọ̀ mọ́ àjọ̀dún oríkádún ọdún kejìlélọ́gọ́rin 82 years ti àgbáoyè Adébáyọ̀ Àkàndé MFR abẹ́sẹ̀ Olúbàdàn lẹ́bàdàn ọjọ́ kejì oṣù kejì ọdún yìí ló máa wáyé o ní gbọ̀ngàn Trenchard Fásitì Ìbàdàn bẹ̀rẹ̀ láago 11 àárọ̀ gẹ́ẹ́rẹ́ àkòrí ní wíwà lárere Nàìjíríà ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Olútáyọ̀ sí Adésínà olórí ẹ̀ka ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ìtàn Fásitì Ìbàdàn lólùdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ olóyè Kọ́lá Karim àgbáoyè ilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn sì lálága ọjọ́ náà bójúbá wa kojú àláòtọ̀ ẹ wá kájọ sàsọyépọ̀ fún àmúṣe àlárere Nàìjíríà gbogbo yín la pé ó.
àwọn tó kán létí wọn mọ ohun tó dára o. Kásìsì máa ni wọ́n ń lò. Kásìsì ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ òde òní náà fi ṣe. Kásìsì ó dára kì máa í mòrò. Ó tún ṣe ege sí òde ìwọ̀n tẹ́ bá fẹ́ o. Ó lè kókó. Ó dára ó rẹwà ó lànà pẹ́. Ó lè kókó. Ó dára ó rẹwà ó lànà pẹ́. Prestige wà. Legend gan ìyẹn ò lẹ́gbẹ́. Diamond wà. Crystal pẹ̀lú Supreme tó dára. Ilé iṣẹ́ Nigerite ló ṣe wọ́n jáde o. Nigerite Calcicil tó táwọn yọjú.
Calcicil sílẹ̀ tí ilé iṣẹ́ Nigerite fìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ ayé òde òní gbé jáde. Ó rẹwà, ó le koko, ó lálòpẹ́. Bàbá ń bari ẹ̀ ní pé kì í mòoru. Ó yàtọ̀ láwùjọ àwọn sílẹ̀. Ó tún ṣe gẹ́sì pèlè ìpèlè. Bẹ́ẹ̀ owó rẹ̀ mọ̀ níwọ̀nba. Ó sì wà ní gbogbo ilé ìtajà Nigerite jákèjádò Nàìjíríà. Nigerite Calcicil ó ju sílẹ̀ lásán lọ.
Splash FM 105.5.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Yes, I'm reading some comments. Some are saying, Edmond, you cannot say this in China. Chinese leadership will arrest you. I understand those points. I will come to those points. Political. You see, I started with Dubai, a monarchy, right? I have come to China, a communist political system. I have mentioned America. I have mentioned Britain. Different systems, but progress. That is the common denominator. At the end of the day, what China is saying is that if you adopt your system to your own aspirations, you will fly. That's the point Dubai is also making. That you can be a monarchy, but you adopt the system that makes things work, you will fly. That Nigeria is a democracy and remains poor even annoys me. And by the way, why will you be complaining? Why will I even write this if all these things are in place? I will just be enjoying facilities and be creative, developing ideas. What will be my business attacking government? When I have everything, I have light. Yes, freedom. I like freedom. I would prefer the Nigerian freedom system to the Chinese one, where people can speak, can express themselves. Yes, that's our system. But I'm saying with this system, we can still be rich. Hey, I started with Maktoum, and I moved to China. Let me conclude. As China, okay, let's start from this point. Let's look at China's Belt and Road Initiative. It's an infrastructure development that puts China at the head of world trade and commerce. The initiative is a road network that connects China to the rest of the world. At its completion, it connects China to 65% of the world's population. It is the largest infrastructure project in human history to to cost over $1 trillion. You see, China inspires me. I look forward to visiting China soon. I am going to China. I'm tired of reading about China. I want to see for myself. For me, it's a project. I have been to Dubai. I have gone. I have seen. China, wait for me. I want to go and pick what to pick from China. As China expands sea and road routes to connect the world, Nigeria, for about a decade, struggles over the construction of the 1.6 kilometer Second River Niger Bridge. As the construction of a Second River Niger Bridge remains a tool of politics, China, within a 9-year period, constructed the world's longest sea bridge spanning 55 kilometers. And that bridge connects Hong Kong to Macau and the mainland Chinese city of Zhuhai. To allow for the movement of ships, the bridge has a 6.7 kilometer undersea tunnel, and it runs between two artificial islands. Google it, you'll see it there. Now that's the power of technology. Sometimes you don't need to visit anymore. You just need to read, see the pictures, watch the videos.
Splash FM 105.5.
Announcement. Saturday, 26th June 2021 makes it Ami, announcer Boladale Kolade for the family.
We're kicking some folks out of the market this season.
I tell you, okay, everyone else in this bed with me, they're losers.
We're the station that beats all the competition. And we'll prove it as soon as we hear any competition.
105.5 Splash.
In the global village of conflicting ideologies and complexities, understanding systems and schemes through awareness and social reconstruction becomes expedient.
They never told you how you offended them?
I'm not on trial, so I can't go before
Join the radio man, Edmondo Bilo, on state affairs for local and international politics, security, extensive economic analysis, interviews, and world power play.
Nigerians must choose the path they want to follow. Follow the same looters and sponsors of violence who control the political structures or encourage the formation of a new leadership team.
Be a global citizen and join the radio revolution on State Affairs. State Affairs with Edmond Obilo. Radio just got deeper.
Daganan kilo betening kom lo moham. Di beta maso sanalom. Muasa benge kaputo.
State Affairs.
State Affairs with Edmond Obilo.
analysis, I need to make the point that while Xi Jinping, the leader of China, pledges to build a modern country for a new era that will be proudly Chinese, Buhari and his friends in the APC and PDP harm the people with poverty and violence. While Chinese leaders are forward-looking and strategic in development, Nigerian leaders are short-sighted, tribal, and uninspiring. Oh, Nigeria is poor because her leaders are mentally poor. For those saying China is a dictatorship, that's why China is doing well. When Nigeria was a dictatorship, what did it do? Cameroon is a dictatorship. How far has Cameroon gone? Uganda remains poor despite years of Museveni's leadership. There's something wrong with the African political system, and we must sort it out. It is this generation that will. We are no longer postponing it. Why are Africans the poorest? Why has no country really taken off in Africa? Did I hear you say South Africa? We know why South Africa is what it is. What did Jacob Zuma do for South Africa? What is the man there doing, Cyril Ramaphosa? Let's come back to Nigeria. Nigeria is yet to produce leaders like Obafemi Awolowo. Awolowo renounced impossibilities for giant strides. Awolowo triggered what China is doing in the 50s in the Southwest. China has moved from a country that relied on high-speed technology imported from Europe and Japan to a state expanding its network using technological and engineering innovations. China's engineers have in short time developed extensive expertise in driving railways over, under, and through terrains. Rivers and mountains cannot stop them. There are elevated tracks above densely packed cities. And there are spectacular long-span bridges over water bodies like the Yangtze River. What about Nigerian engineers? What about technology transfer? Listen to a conversation I had with Senator Soji Akombi in 2008. He was then in the Senate. Why are they always holding us to ransom, these so-called investors? Even the Chinese come to Nigeria with Chinese prisoners.
Yes.
We know that.
Yeah, thank God you know that.
Yes, they come with Chinese prisoners.
To work as a laborer.
To work as laborers here. Our people don't have jobs.
You see, we are still on the same page. That's why I'm saying that we must find a way to reduce our overhead costs. By the time you're spending 70% of the total revenue on running costs, you can't develop. They are taking advantage of our vulnerability. And something must be done.
And we remain vulnerable.
Honestly, we do. We must find a way to change this.
You go to Abuja, you go to the Lagos-Ibadan end of the railway, you see Chinese people working.
Of course, yes.
Our people don't have work.
Mr. Abilo, even the little we are getting out of them is just because we are, in a way, putting our foot down.
But we have a local content act.
That's what I'm telling you initially. Whenever they are coming, that they're the one funding a project, part of what they request for is that local content agreement have to be rewritten.
And we always agree.
We don't have a choice because, to be honest with you, we need those projects, and China is the only is the only country now with the lowest interest rate. I can understand the way you feel. I feel that way too. It's so painful. Our youth are sitting down at home and they are bringing prisoners to do the job that's meant for our own youth. But in a way, we hope within the next decade, we get out of this.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Discussing there with Senator Sojia Kombi in 2018. China is pushing the boundaries of speed, endurance, and civil engineering. China has encouraged and supported her companies to be among the first in the world to introduce new technology, such as autonomous driverless train operations and advanced signaling and control technology. You can visit China and travel in the driverless bullet trains from Beijing and Zhangjiakou in northern Hebei province. The trains are capable of hitting speeds of up to 350 kilometers per hour, making them the world's fastest autonomous trains. This reduces travel time for the